Big news rattling the electric vehicle world. Rivian, the once promising EV startup, is now facing turbulent times. With recent layoffs of 10% of its workforce, coupled with a staggering double downgrade in stock value, it's been bad news bears for Rivian. But wait, it doesn't stop there. Elon Musk himself predicts Rivian will go bankrupt if they don't cut costs. And we go over the most recent shareholder meeting, which many feel paints a grim picture and uncertainty and disappointment. What's next for Rivian? Is this the end of the road, or can they steer through the storm? Let's get into it. Before we get into this video, please check out my new online store where I plan to drop new products quarterly. My brand is called The Adventure Club because with Rivian, adventure is always out there. Now, please check it out and let me know what you think. Link is in the description below. On to some news. Opening a shareholder meeting with such challenging updates is undoubtedly a tough task. Imagine the tension as RJ announces Rivian's decision to trim 10% of its workforce, followed by Claire McDonough reinforcing the message later in the meeting. Their intentions are clear. Cost-cutting measures are in full swing, but then the plot thickens with Elon Musk's blunt assessment post-earnings call. When asked about Rivian's fate, Musk's response sends shockwaves. Current trajectory has them bankrupt in 6 quarters. His sobering analysis underscores the harsh reality facing Rivian. Despite acknowledging their solid product design, Musk points out the daunting task ahead, achieving volume production with positive cash flow. Love him or loathe him, Elon's experience in the automotive realm adds weight to his words. He leaves us with a chilling ultimatum. They need to cut costs massively, and the exec team needs to live in the factory or they will die. Here are some of the key highlights that came from the Q4 earnings call. In fiscal year 2024, Rivian is focusing on several key areas to drive their business forward. First is profitability. They aim to reduce costs and achieve modest gross profit by the 4th quarter, prioritizing financial sustainability. Customer experience and demand generation. Rivian is dedicated to building customer demand and enhancing the overall customer experience, ensuring satisfaction and loyalty. Operational excellence. Continuous improvement and maintaining high-quality standards are central to their operations, ensuring efficiency and reliability. And lastly, technology leadership. Rivian is integrating new technologies into their R1 vehicles and progressing towards the launch of their R2 model, positioning themselves as leaders in automotive innovation. Now, despite economic and geopolitical uncertainties, Rivian remains optimistic about their prospects for 2024. They plan to shut down the consumer and commercial production lines in the 2nd quarter to introduce cost-saving technologies to their R1 platform, aiming to improve their margins. They expect total deliveries to come from existing orders and new orders generated throughout this year, with a focus on increasing order rates through a strategic go-to-market effort. One of the most interesting questions asked during the call questioned if it was in Rivian's best interest to shut down the normal production line instead of pushing the R2 production date earlier. Let's take a listen to what RJ had to say.
We're certainly working very hard to make sure we deliver our R2 on time and to the extent possible, pull any time we can out of the program. I think what has us so excited about R2 is we look at the success of R1 in terms of how the market's responded to the brand and to the product. It's the top selling EV with a price point of over $70,000. And our hope, of course, is to translate the brand strength that we've demonstrated for Rivian with R1 into the R2 product and into a much lower price segment, which has a very large addressable market. I think the key thing, though, to come back to your question on R1 is just recognizing how much of the content that's going into the shutdown in Q2 actually translates to R2. So there's a massive consolidation of our ECUs in the vehicle. So that's all the computers in the vehicle, which we design and engineer in-house. We've consolidated them. We reduced the number of computers by about 65%. And that network architecture and associated ECU topology is very closely related to what's in R2. And so it not only de-risks R2, but it's part of the development process and development sequence associated with the launch of that product. Along with that, these changes that we're making to R1 with regards to just the overall changing out of hundreds of components and associated suppliers with those components also corresponds to a number of supplier engagements that we have that link to R2. And the volume that R2 brings allows us to be more aggressive in pricing with a number of those suppliers that are on the R1 program. So the two are very much interlinked. And with that said, as we think about our focus as a business, this shutdown and the updates associated with it in our bill of materials and along with the line really is sort of part one to the major focus for us as a business, which is the successful launch and rapid ramp up of the R2 production.
Throughout 2024, Rivian anticipates further progress in reducing commercial, engineering, and operational costs, as well as expanding non-vehicle revenue streams such as regulatory credits, service, financing, and software. Financially, Rivian has taken measures to reduce operating and capital expenditures, while they expect total adjusted operating expenses to remain flat compared to 2023. They anticipate a modest gross profit by the fourth quarter of 2024. Despite ongoing investments in technology and facilities, they are focusing on managing their cash flow. Personally, I'm hoping that Rivian is just being modest, as I feel that they will increase deliveries to more than 57,000 this year. Despite Rivian's efforts to improve towards gross profit by the fourth quarter, the company is facing significant challenge as many analysts are downgrading its stock from a buy to a sell recommendation. Now, this isn't just a single downgrade, it's a double downgrade, a rare occurrence on Wall Street where ratings typically shift one notch at a time. Joe Spack, a UBS analyst, expressed his previous optimism in Rivian's product and brand, believing they would ultimately triumph. However, the rapidly changing landscape of the electric vehicle market has forced a reassessment. Demand growth for battery electric vehicles in the US is slowing, primarily due to a lack of affordable options and an abundance of high-priced alternatives. For instance, the Rivian R1S, starting at about $75,000, is out of reach for many consumers. Spack has revised his outlook for Rivian's 2025 deliveries, expecting approximately 75,000 units compared to the Wall Street consensus of about 95,000. Consequently, he has slashed his price target to $8 a share from the previous $24, reflecting a significant downward adjustment. The impact of these revisions was evident in Rivian's stock performance, plummeting 10.4% to $10.26 a share, following a 26% decline in Thursday's trading after the fourth quarter earnings report. This signals a notable loss of confidence in the company's trajectory. It's evident that the future of Rivian is closely tied to the success of its R2 product line. Drawing parallels with Tesla's journey, it becomes clear how pivotal the release of the Tesla Model 3 was in shaping Tesla's future. The anticipation of subsequent success on the Model 3 transferred Tesla from a niche electric car manufacturer into a mainstream player, reshaping the automotive industry's landscape. Similarly, the R2 lineup holds significant weight for Rivian beyond just being another electric vehicle release. It represents Rivian's bid to establish itself as a key player in the electric vehicle market. The success of the R2 model will not only validate Rivian's technology and design, but also its ability to compete with established automakers. In essence, the success of the R2 lineup is not just crucial for Rivian's bottom line, but also for the advancement of electric vehicles as a whole. Just as the Model 3 heralds a new era for Tesla, the R2 lineup has the potential to shape the future of Rivian and the automotive industry at large. Alright, that is all the latest Rivian news for today. Please subscribe to my channel for more Rivian updates, and remember that adventure is always out there.